Per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only, is not intended as financial advice. It's Wednesday. Let's take a look at some alts. Alts. Not the place to be still. Status quo is unchanged. I mean, the dominance chart looks like gold. The gold chart is just straight vertical. Bitcoin dominance continues to move on a tear. Maybe it goes to 68. Maybe it goes to 72. I don't know. Is there even any real value in guessing? I don't think so. Just use a trend metric. That's your risk guide, your risk valve. Bullish on high time frames, stay in BTC, trade alts lightly, not financial advice. Bearish on dominance, then you start looking for altcoin plays. And you got to remember, Bitcoin trades like 3x QQQ. Alts trade like 2x BTC. So if you're trading SOL, that's like 6x QQQ. And then if you add leverage on top of that, if you're adding leverage on top of SOL, let's say you had 5x leverage, some loose math would be like 30x QQQ. Like, do you really need that right now is the question I'm asking people who are asking me about leverage. It just doesn't quite make sense yet until Bitcoin has a direction. Bitcoin is still neutral, bearish. Does it really make sense to pile on the leverage here? I don't think so. Yes, you will be an absolute hero champion. They will build statues. They will sing songs of your name if you call the bottom on anything ever. But the odds of that, the probability of that, very low. And it doesn't take much. Just stop making lower lows. This is total 2 against BTC. All we got to do is stop making lower lows. Let's start there. On dominance, let's just stop making higher highs before we think about alts. Let's start there. Haven't quite seen that yet. This has been bearish. I don't know, for the past 35 videos, this has been bearish on this channel. And that will change one day, probably, maybe, but not today. Something interesting of note, the reverse repo. Fed plumbing, esoteric sort of, doesn't really matter most of the time, but it's getting drained rather quickly. And if that hits 0, and if we hit liquidity problems, and we get alphabet soup of special actions for liquidity, then BTC should do well, alts should do well, we'll have looser economic conditions, we'll have looser liquidity conditions. So as bad as things might look and be, we need them to get worse first before the printers get plugged in. They're just dusting off the printer. I saw a comic the other day. They were dusting off JPow, dusting off the printer. They haven't plugged it in yet. So alts are going to have a bad time in this current environment. They are emitting billions a month in tokens, and that is clearly dragging prices lower across the board. Stables have continued to slowly print, specifically Tether and USDC, slowly, quietly making new all-time highs there in total issued. So there is a divergence here, sure, but this total 2 chart is nowhere close to looking like it's ready. There's a pretty aggressive diag you could draw on this, and you can just look to last year. Last year it took a while to bottom, and you got a cloud signal. We're not there yet. Still making lower lows, still unable to hold lows. So give us another month. Give me another month's worth of daily candles, and then we can talk. But for now, alts just really don't make sense. And if you're bullish BTC, you're going to want to see this break up a little bit more first. You're going to want to see BTC bottom a little bit more first. It looks okay. I'm optimistic. I'm not one of these cycle over people. So I think alts can have a run eventually. But again, what makes sense right now or has made sense? Not alts. It just doesn't. You're looking at these charts. These charts are what you need to be looking at. And I'm not the only one telling you that. Many people have said it doesn't make sense if Bitcoin is beating alts. It just doesn't make sense. Now you can go down the list every day. There's 10 alts or 10,000 alts that outperform on a very short time frame. That's not my wheelhouse. If that's your wheelhouse, great, but that's not my wheelhouse. I like trends. I like strength. I like momentum. We're not seeing that on BTC, let alone alts. But if this holds on BTC, if we can get another couple weeks of just flat without making lower lows, alts may do decently well, probably not beat BTC, but may do decently well on the upswing here if BTC gets back above 90. And then once we are, this is again super optimistic, but if we get above 100, alts may start to do well. I don't know. They didn't do so great in Q4 on a relative basis. They did okay. They didn't do amazing. And just like leverage, getting in and out of those quickly makes more sense to me than holding onto them for an extended period of time. If we look at total 2 against gold, which I don't know if anyone's ever looked at, this might be a world first. on this here channel. Total 2 relative to gold. Has not made a higher high since 2021. And this may be more a function of global liquidity than anything, but it's still crushing lows, just straight puke. Maybe wait, watch some like weird, uncommon signals if you're a market timer. But clearly this is not favoring alts. 2020, boom. What was it? It was free money. It was ZERP. That's what alts do really well compared to other assets. So we're not quite there yet. And then ETH against gold I thought was hilarious. This is a multi-year low. Obviously everyone knows the ETH BTC chart making multi-year lows, but ETH against gold is back to 2020 levels. So this isn't to say it's down only forever. It's just why would you buy this? You know, I don't like gold here. I don't like ETH here. Gold to me is on a parabolic advance that the risk reward doesn't make too much sense here. And the same with ETH. It's on a parabolic advance to the downside and it doesn't really make too much sense here. But on a relative pair, this clearly favors gold over ETH, unquestionably. And because this is going to be quick, I'll just use the Kraken desktop app here so I can flip through these. The only thing that's really green on my list other than Fartcoin is Curve, and I'm long Curve, so that's good. Good for me. Yay me. BTC, there's another diag you could probably draw. Like we look like we're trying to do something, but JPOW started speaking today and we're down, I don't know, $2,000 just because he's too turbo bearish. What would I want to see? I would want to see a daily close above 86, maybe a weekly close above 86 as well. Then we can start to talk. But right here, really just not much of anything. Still a bearish DK cross. 8 hour is still, 6 hour, 8 hour is still not quite there. Like it's trying. It's really trying. It's really trying. And this may be a head and shoulders fractal here. You know, IHS. We'll see. I'm not opposed to that. But until we get clear direction out of BTC, it's hard to do anything with alts. Ripple broke down, went back up. It's still not anywhere I'd want to touch it. It's up very quickly over a short period of time. And it may continue up one day, but until it's above the cloud, it's just not for me. That currently is at 250 on the daily. You could say there's a little low time frame inverted head and shoulders here on Ripple. But is it tradable? Not yet. You want it above the neckline at 220, but ultimately it's the daily that just scares the bejesus out of me. If I'm long a chart that looks like this, I'm thinking, what am I doing? There's got to be something else that looks better than this. So still a head and shoulders risk on that one. Sol did make a move above the aggressive down channel. Again, has similar like trying to make an inverted head and shoulders vibes. We're probably a week or two out from that. So maybe next week or the week after, I can finally come and say, look at how bullish these altcoin charts look. But right now we're not quite there. I did hop out of my my Sol yesterday. Actually, I ended up paying taxes with my Sol Sol bag that I had, but I was worried about this inverted head and shoulders breaking down, shoulder, head, shoulder. And it's since broke down, went back to the neckline, sort of just in no man's land here. So anyway, Sol's still just not really much on low time frames, not much on high time frames. Needs more time. ETH also just looks like, you know, why? Why would you want to guess? This hasn't been a time that has rewarded people guessing ever since it broke down below the cloud at 3,000. It's just continued in its downward channel. Here's your stop loss on guessing is the Tenkin. Really has not been able to hold the Tenkin. Continues to make lower lows. If we look at ETH BTC, this is a new multi-week, multi-year, generational, good night, see you later, sayonara, parabolic, gross nonsense, right? If you want to long that, go ahead, but it's not going to be me. Not going to be me. Needs a lot of time to flatten out. SWE on the daily also, just really no evidence that this has bottomed yet. Needs at least a week or two. And there's going to be a time, and it's important to think about this, there's going to be a time when we start to get edge-to-edge setups. So you got to be mentally prepared and ready for that. What are your favorite 5? What are your favorite 3? Whatever. What do you do here? What do you do there? Set some scenarios for yourself. I want to buy here. I want to add here. This is my stop loss. Theoretical. That time will come, probably, but not now. Looks like May. It's going to be May, as they say. ADA no man's land, down channel, not for me. Curve, the one chart outside of Tron that is in the daily cloud, still looks good. IHS took months to form, broke out, held the levels in the cloud. Upside is still in the 80s plus, however that measures. Still looks good, especially in this market, in this time, relative to everything else. Curve looks phenomenal. Tau, again, maybe an inverted head and shoulders. Not quite there yet. Ondo, straight down, ugly. Litecoin, aggressively down. Monero, holding levels since December. It's done better than almost every other alt since December. I'll give you that. Is it good enough to buy? Is it a setup? It's not really for me, but I know there's a lot of people who love it. It just, it's not really done much of anything since 2021. So it's a safe haven, if anything. Link, straight down, and most of the charts look like total too. Most of the charts look the same. Just giving back all of their post-election gains as quickly as they made them. And now it's going to take some time. Give it a month, give it 2 months. Hell, it may take you into Q4 until we see something. Tron, one of the few that's holding up in the cloud, still making this U-shaped bottom into May. If this can hold, you might get a breakout. And like Curve, like for whatever reason, make up your narrative. Doesn't matter. It might start to do well. I don't know. I literally do not understand why Tron over anything else, but it's holding levels that other coins are not holding. Render looks horrific. I was talking about this, I think last video or on stream. Maybe we get some sort of smaller shoulder, or just not quite there yet. And as we go down this list, it doesn't get any better. Most of this stuff just doesn't look good. AVAX, ugly. Near, ugly. It's almost a new multi-year low, right? 2023? Yeah, just ugly. And this is inflation, this is coin emissions, this is team selling, whatever, right? This is just there's no one on the other side of this trade. For the memes, Fartcoin looks good. And when it's doing well, when nothing else is doing well, it sticks out like a sore thumb in a good way. So people really aren't trading much of anything else. Look at the volume on this thing relative to the rest of the meme coins. It looks like potentially a flag versus head and shoulders on low time frames. I think it looks fine. I think your trailing stop loss on this would probably be 80 cents if you were in it. You could argue inverted head and shoulders. I think it just needs more time to make a decision, but the trend is clearly bullish relative to everything else that is not. Dogecoin looks like everything else, just giving back everything since November. Nothing here to do at all. Popcat perking up a little bit. We go to like the 6 hour. Let's try the 12 hour. Starting to, I don't know why. This is why technicals to me have always mattered more than anything else. I don't know why this coin right now, similar to Curve, similar to Tron, but again, it looks better than almost everything. It made 3 lower lows, 3 consecutive lows here, 3 drives, whatever you want to call it. There's probably a div on this. There was at the bottom. The 12-hour cloud, high time frame cloud, starting to flip bullish for the first time since the top. I don't hate this as an idea, as a trade. If this can maintain this level, with cloud signals into next week, into later in the month, definitely shoots to the top of the list, along with Tron and Curve of tradable things here. And of course, everyone's favorite, Fartcoin. Pepe also starting to maybe think about possibly doing something. Couldn't tell you why. Don't care. But again, this edge-to-edge setup in a time when there's been nothing for months, it's easier for me to prepare for stuff like this because there's really nothing else to do or look at. It's just you click this chart. Okay, nothing. Oh, what's this? There's a setup here. Look at that, right? That's where we're at with Pepe, similar to Popcat. Maybe this triggers, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We're not there yet. But if we look at like the 12 hour, if we try to cheat this a little bit, what would I want to see? I'd want to see it similar to Popcat where it's above the cloud. So maybe, set alerts somewhere up here. You just wait for it. But it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good relative to everything else. Bonk, a little less so, but not out of the conversation down the road here. And if you're trading this stuff, this is what you want. You want to see gold to run, and then you want to see gold miners to run, and then you want to see Bitcoin to run, and then you want to see alts to run, and then you want to see memes to run sometime around that, right? So if we get Fartcoin moving now, and then we rotate into Pepe and Popcat and whatever bonk. That's the dream. Trump, I would never touch this ever for any reason. Just garbage. Sorry, not for me. Whiff doesn't look good. Give me it all back. But this is what you want. You want leaders and you want laggards. You want obvious trades when there's nothing going on. And most of this stuff just looks like a massive avoid. Just like the index, which is total 2 relative to BTC. That to me looks like a massive, massive avoid. I don't think any of these BTC charts, we can look at Sol BTC really quick. Maybe setting up for a lower time frame play. There was this inverted head and shoulders that played out. Maybe there's a broader play here. It's above the 6 hour cloud for the first time since January. You know, it's trying. It's trying. And as far as Sol versus ETH strength, I mean, there's no contest. It is Sol all the way. If alts come back, I expect to see Sol to continue to outperform ETH. I don't think that's going to change. So we'll stop there. Not much going on. Not much to say, not much to do. But there are a few charts that are in active trends. There are a few charts that are setting up. And I think it's important to just game theory out some stuff. What am I going to do if, Pepe starts to look good relative to everything else? Where am I going to add? Where am I going to want to be mostly in with a position? That sort of thing. That's all I have for this one. Give me a like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, and happy trading.